Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing my nails. As you can see, they're currently nearly bare. There's like a touch of gel from my last set on, but I removed them the day before I started filming this, you know, just to save time. But we're pushing back my cuticles. I'm using an orange wood stick. I honestly don't know why. Sometimes recently when I'm doing my own nails, I just reach for an orange wood stick instead of like a metal pusher for no particular reason. I feel like when I'm in the thick of watching especially dual form or hard gel videos, which is, we're doing dual forms today, lots of the nail artists are using a cuticle, not using a cuticle pusher, I mean they are, but they're using an orange wood stick as a cuticle pusher. And I think then I just grab the orange wood stick. So I usually, on clients, I usually use a metal, I keep wanting to call it a metal pusher, but yeah. On myself, not today. That was a really long-winded explanation for my choice in pusher. But now we're just doing some cuticle work. I'm just using a flame bit here and I'm just going around my cuticles. I first started in forward and I did the left side of my nail, then I switched to reverse and I'm doing the right side of my nail. And then I'm going through with my MGArt file here. This is 180 grit and I'm smoothing out the gel that's left behind as well as etching up my natural nail plate. Now you'll notice I haven't nipped my cuticles, I haven't nipped the dead skin, and that will be done later on. When I'm doing dual forms, I'm really trying to follow the MGArt method. So that's done later on to kind of protect your skin as you go through all the filing and stuff, and then you'll nip off all the dead stuff once you've finished your application of your dual forms. So I'm just going in with the MGArt primer. I've never really been a primer person, but I started using the MGArt kind of system without the primer, and then I was like, you know what, let me just try the primer, let me just get it, and I do find it makes a difference, so now I use the primer. And then I'm going in with the base coat. I'm scrubbing that into the nail plate, into all those etches I just created with my hand file, and then just smoothing that out over top. I'm not doing too thick of a base layer. The base gel itself isn't too thick, but I'm just applying like a decent amount, but it's thin enough that I don't have to worry about it like seeping into the sidewalls or anything, so I can work a few fingers, if not the whole hand, all at one time. And I recently just bought, I haven't started using it yet, but the bottles are 10 ml and I recently just bought like the 30 ml refill. I'm excited to start using that because it comes with a little jar. And I'm just sizing up my tips. The base gel is on, which is important because you want to make sure that the dual form is going to fit over the base gel, and I've left the base gel sticky. The dual forms are clean, so. We're using Old Money today, which is the one like kind of nude-ish shade. I would say it's somewhere between like a pinky white. It was just the one shade. I think I bought it for my wedding. Yeah, I bought it to use for my wedding. Yeah, I used dual forms and Old Money for my wedding nails a few years ago, but I rarely pull it out to use on clients. I usually just use clear, but I thought I'd use Old Money today. It's a really, really pretty shade, and it kind of just looks like super natural looking, almost. Like you can still see a bit of your nail through it. But yeah, it's really nice. I'm doing the dual forms. When you're using like a nude or a colored gel in your dual forms, you definitely have to make sure you're curing both the top side and the underside. Not only in your flash cure, but then in your big light as well. So I'm just doing that and then popping off my dual forms. Honestly, it's so satisfying doing dual forms. I'm also getting a lot faster. I've been practicing a lot more, and I've been doing it on a few select clients who suit having dual forms in their lives. And the other day I did a dual form set, and with like just like solid color. Mind you, we were needing to hurry, but I did it in 1 hour and 45 minutes. It would have normally taken longer than that, but we were under some time constraints. So, but yeah, I was pretty impressed with myself. So just filing here, it's kind of hard to file on camera because I'm moving my hand so much, but basically I'm starting with the nail file flat and I'm trying to even out the side walls to be even to one another while kind of taking the free edge up a little bit just at the tip. You want to make sure you're keeping your side walls intact because that's where you're going to get your strength from. So you don't want to file those too high up. That'll also create a little bit of like a lifted ski slope look, which you don't want. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind and just keeping my file at like a 45-degree angle. And then we're flipping the hand upside down. This part I love, makes the biggest difference. Once you've finished all your filing, you definitely want to make sure you've finished your filing you're going to take your e-file bit. This is one from MGArt. I also use like the under the nail cleaner from Erica's ATA. And you just are basically debulking the underside as well as removing any natural nail from beneath the nail. So a big thing with hard gel is you do want the free edge to be thin, quite thin. And you definitely, if you can, you want to remove the natural nail, because if the natural nail is bending and curving and pulling away from the product, it's just going to cause issues. So if you can remove it from the underside, that's kind of the best option. I do my best. I honestly, this part makes me nervous while I'm trying to remove my natural nail, just because I'm afraid that I'm gonna like file away too much and like put a hole in my nail extension, which to be honest, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It'd be a good learning lesson. I probably should just try it, because then I could just pop another extension on if that came down to it. But I'm worried that I'm gonna file it too thin. Also, my washing machine is on. If you can hear it, it's making some wild ass noises. Now the surface of these nails are so smooth, you really don't need to alter them too much if done correctly. Mind you, I'm still on myself. I can do these nails on a client so much better than I can do them on myself. Around the cuticle area on myself is still a little bit rough. So I do like to smooth that out with a buffer, and then I may as well just buff the entire nail just to make sure that the next gel layers are going to adhere. I have learned some tricks with dual forms. I'm not showing you in this video because I hadn't learned them at this point, but I will be showing you in future videos about cutting your dual forms. So I'll definitely show you that. Actually, I'm gonna, at the time of filming this, I think I'm gonna do my nails tomorrow, so I'll show you that then. But now we're going through and we are just trimming the dead skin from the cuticle area. I finished all my filing around the cuticle area, so I'm now safe to trim off that dead skin that was being used essentially as a protective layer to protect my skin from any like filing. You don't want your like fresh, beautiful, cleaned up skin to get all messed up from your hand file from like trying to smooth out the cuticle area. But like I said, the cuticle area on me right now she's not at her finest, because, you know, I did have to go in there and file away quite a bit of stuff that I, you know, in application wasn't the best. So I'm just going in with some base coat just to help smooth that. I chose the zombie base because it is a little bit of a thicker base coat, and that will just allow things to kind of like smooth and settle. Yeah, so that's why I went in with that. If you went in with something too thin, then you wouldn't have that kind of like filling effect. So I chose the zombie base because we love her. She's a good like kind of medium thick viscosity. And just applying that all over the nail, especially focusing on around the cuticle area, making sure that's all sorted out. But yeah, look how beautiful the color is of Old Money. Like, it is kind of a bit of more of a milky white with like the tiniest hint of like a pink to it. But you can still, it kind of gives the effect of like you still have a natural free edge. So this is DS88. This is from the Debulk Glacé collection. And I cannot tell you how much I've been using this color. I literally love it so much. I'm gonna apply 2 coats. You're gonna watch me apply 1, but I'm gonna apply 2 to the set. And it does apply obviously different on Old Money as the base versus clear as the base. I've done it on both. I love it on both. But yeah, it is such a beautiful kind of like nude-ish shade. It's almost a bit rosy, a bit peachy, but it kind of is a bit coolish tone. I know it doesn't, it looks a little bit warmer on camera. But yeah, I've been using it on a ton of different people, and a ton of people have been really, really liking it. And I think under the cat eye that we're going to put on top of it, it's really, really nice because there is a bit of contrast in color from the cat eye. So we're using the Miro MM01 shade. This is the Miro layering magnet gel from that little collection, and I absolutely love these layering mags. So in comparison to the Debulk Glacé collection, the layering mags in that collection, I would say that they don't really leave a trace of color behind. The magnetic particles are the colored shift, but aside from that, everything seems pretty well clear. You can tell if you're looking at this nail right now, there is a slight grayish tint that gets left behind from this mag gel, which doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like the color that it becomes. But the pink glitter that shifts is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a little bit more glittery versus silky. And I do like that, sure, you have the glitter reflect from the magnetized particles, but if you're looking at the nails, and you'll specifically see these in the shots at the end when I kind of show you the reveal, especially in the sunshine, there is still a bit of glitteriness to the nail. You focus on it right at the like like I did the kind of like light chaser effect. You'll notice it mostly the glitteriness there, but if you look at the nails, there is definitely a slight glitteriness to it. And with this collection itself, there are a lot of like kind of like galaxy colors within the collection. I mean, it's just a 5-piece collection, but it can definitely lend well to like a galaxy night sky type of vibe, or just this kind of beautiful pinky color. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Now we're going in with our Slower Hands stencils. I love these stencils from Slower Hands. Slower Hands is a nail artist on Instagram. If you haven't checked her out, her work is incredible. I'll leave her Instagram link down below, but also her website, because these bloop stencils have definitely been one of my favorite things. I would say this past month, the month of June, definitely a huge favorite of mine. I've been using them a ton, not only on myself, but on clients as well. Also, I forgot to tell you a little bit more about this set. This design I actually planned and I did on a client as a mystery mini, and I could not stop thinking about it the entire, like, I don't even know how long ago I've done it. It was like weeks. I was thinking about it nonstop, to the point where I was like, I think I just need to do this set on myself as well. So Emily, if you're watching this, yes, you're watching me copy your set right now. I designed it for the mystery mini, and then I just couldn't resist. It was so nice. Emily actually sent me photos of her nails like with butterflies or moths or whatever, and it was so cute. Everything looked so nice together, and I was like, you know what? This is for me. I need to do this also. So I'm just going over basically just the stencil. I'm kind of doing an aura, but focusing the center on the center of the stencil. And it's not an aura straight up, but I'm allowing the airbrush paint to kind of fan out. I'm not making it too sharp. I'm not putting too much pressure on the trigger on the airbrush. I'm not holding it too close to the nail. I'm allowing the paint to kind of like spread, because I think it just adds a really nice effect. But I'm focusing the paint area on kind of the center area, the center almost stem of the stencils. And you can see, oh, we peel it off. That's so beautiful. Just wait till we put the top coat on, because your mind will be blown. They're so beautiful. But yeah, these bloop stencils are definitely some of my favorite as of lately. I highly recommend you guys checking out Slower Hands website. Also, this stencil saver book is really nice as well. Yeah, I love it. And all the stencils on this page you can see in my stencil saver book are all from Slower Hands. So if any catch your eye, they're definitely, I believe I saw that she was making some new stencils as well. So yeah, check my link. You can see all those there. Now for the other hand, we're doing a different design. If you saw my green viral set, this is the same design. So I'm just going in with the same color. This is the shade Wine in my One Air paint, and I am just essentially painting dots onto my nail. I'm going in with light pressure on the trigger of my airbrush. I'm going in very close, and if I'm wanting to do bigger circles, I'm kind of like pulling my airbrush back a little bit, and kind of rotating my hand. I think you'll see that there, yeah. Now, talking about airbrushes, this one, my airbrush is the HPB Plus from Iwata. It is specifically a fine airbrush. Not all airbrushes are made equally, so definitely worth noting. I've done all the cheap airbrushes and I ended up getting an Iwata airbrush, and it was probably the best decision of my airbrushing career. I airbrush a lot though. If you're not airbrushing a lot, you could do this effect with blooming gel, but I airbrush a lot, and so investing in a good airbrush for myself, both the handpiece and the, I was called a generator, what's that called? Compressor. Yeah, it was a good investment for me. But yeah, like I said, you can totally use blooming gel for this step, but not all airbrushes will be able to do this. You want to make sure you have a fine airbrush, but mess around with like the settings on it. The best kind of experiments come out of playing. That's kind of how I came up with this design. So yeah, definitely recommend. Now we're going in with the Cocoas Ultra Glossy Top Coat. This top coat, I love her. Okay, she is so glossy. She is actually great for chrome. I forget who it was, someone on Instagram was talking about what top coats they use for chrome application, and she said that this one worked the best for keeping chrome on, and I've started using it for chrome, and I can agree, it does work really well. So I've been using this quite a bit. It also stays quite glossy for a really long time. I'm looking at my nails right now. I've had this set on for 3 weeks, and they still look really good. Like, definitely a little bit dulled down, but like, not super noticeably. So I'm really, really enjoying this top coat. When I'm applying it here, I am applying it on both the top side and the underside. This is an important thing to do when you're using hard gel or like dual forms or whatever, because you have you have gel on the underside that has been cured, but it's not top coated. So you definitely want to top coat that in. If you don't have a mirrored nail lamp, I would top coat the top and then cure it and then do the underside separately. Now my nail lamps that I use this one, which is the D-Gel Artist Lamp, and I also have the Bandy B LED lamp. I love them both, and I use, so I'll top coat the top and the bottom at the same time. But here we are. Here's the finished set. Look how gorgeous they turned out. I'm gonna show you a little shot in the sunshine while I was at the park reading, but let me know what you guys think down below. I'm still enamored with this set, and I'm obsessed with the MGArt method these days. I can't get enough. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.